Welcome, my name is Yana. I am here to promote human design for my lens, which is the heretic investigator lens. And despite my annoyance and doubts that this would work, or the need to be an entrepreneur wholeheartedly in society, the norm is to show up on social platforms and to share knowledge by making personal videos, by being seen, by being a part of the algorithm, and trying to promote yourself in this way. And I'm just gonna be real, like, social media and doom scrolling is not my favorite thing to do. I like to be out in the real world, living life, being in nature, playing music. Like, I'm absolutely immersed in the things that I do, and making these videos seems to be the best way to get people interested. Why do I care? I care because a lot of people that I have met throughout my experiences have been assholes, and relationships of mine haven't worked, and I've been an asshole, and there's been a lot of disappointments, betrayal, closure, non-closure relations, and it affects you. It affects your memory. It affects your blood. It affects where you go and who gets you there. So I just want to be able to share the journey, and I am not in any means a doctor or physician or psychologist. I have definitely been interested in psychology. That was my first major. Despite my lack of certifications and my lack of official documents, I think that a lot of people are talking about very potent things in the world. And in human design, I have throat definition, and I have ego definition, and I have splenic definition, and that may seem like really confusing, but if you follow my channel, you'll know exactly what that means. It just means that I have the intuition. My life is based off of health. My life is based off of creativity and experience. My voice is meant to be heard in this realm, and that's why we have this beautiful tool, our voice, the tool of TikTok and these platforms to be able to share this knowledge. And I educate myself. I listen to a lot of different types of education, and whenever I look at videos, podcasts, books, whatever it is, like, I find that somebody put like this really great chunk of knowledge into words, and it's all together right there, present for you to listen to, present for you to immerse yourself in, and it changes you, it changes your opinion, it builds the framework of evolution. And despite, like I had mentioned, my lack of certifications, I am here to share what I know. And I have studied human design for about 3 years now, and that is 3 years deconditioning, which means that my cellular network is more attuned to my authentic self. And it says that in human design, 7 years is the amount of time that it takes for you to fully decondition, because every 7 years our body and our cellular network sheds and changes. And yeah, I just want to share what I know, and Thank you for tuning in and listening to my opinion and my knowledge. I would like to share some of my history. I started out, this is history because I want you to know the lens and the experiences that I have come across in life. Not because I want to label myself in any way or do the checks and ballots thing. I have lived a certain colorful life, and that is why I'm sharing this knowledge. I started out with really wanting to be a cosmetologist. I did that for 5 years. I got some brutal realizations at that time in life. I was about 20 to 25. I was drinking a lot, drinking heavily, and in a polyamorous relationship. I was pretty much just out in the nightlife, living it up and going to festivals, and first got my art together so that I can basically just live paint, and that was super exciting for me at that time of life. So that's pretty much where I come from. I wanted to be a cosmetologist. I went to Paul Mitchell. I got that down, that area, that chunk. I worked at a holistic spa at the end of my cosmetology career, and the people I was bringing in, it was like a holistic health spa. The people I was bringing in were wild spirits from like Burning Man and like other festivals, and they definitely weren't accepted, let's just say. And I never really understood that, because healing is for everyone, and if you're providing a healing center, you know, you must include the people that, you know, want a holistic lifestyle or have no idea, so that they can learn. But obviously, every single spa or holistic teacher can only handle so much. So I understood that. I initially learned human design from a woman named Hillary. She was a sound healing teacher and very versed in a lot of different esoteric knowledge, and she did my human design for me. And because I was living the party lifestyle, I wasn't really attuned to that. The knowledge wasn't really like being soaked in, because I had all these walls up and these experiences that I wish I had. And you know, human design still came for me later in life, and it was true that it was really meant to be. Throughout like cosmetology, I went to bartending after that, and just being a live painter. I had many different jobs in life. I worked with a lot of different artists. I started live painting as my only job, and it was hard. It was hard being a live painter as myself, because my art's kind of freaky. Like it shows both dark and light aspects, and some people thought it was like, oh my god, like your art's too much, or it's like a bad trip, because it was colorful as fuck, and black light, and it was just so detailed that people were just kind of getting lost in it. And I was yet again in one of those towns, like towns that promoted healing and holistic lifestyles, and it taught me how to really heal myself and heal my body. And abandoning the drinking for like a good amount of time, like 3 or 4 years, and getting immersed into yoga and, becoming an Ashtanga yogi, and basically friction always ended up happening for me. And I've been through a lot of trials and errors myself, and I never really understood why people couldn't just communicate with me the truth, whatever it was, the feedback, the constructive criticism, the closure, like, hey, like, I really love you, but this can't happen anymore, or just give me any type of feedback that you like care to remain alongside me, or not, or hey, like, this contract has ended. That is what I expect from mature people. That is what I've always desired, and it's really hard to get that. I have had tons of people get volatile for no reason, people that have projections of who I am before they meet me, or they still have some projections. They don't ask questions. They just think, oh, like, you're a shit person, or I just don't like you. And that's fine, I just appreciate the mature closure that, you would receive. So going through it, I became a body piercer and have spent 6 years doing body piercing and getting to know different artists, working at several different shops. And recently there's something that occurred. I'm 31 now, and there has been a striking of Saturnian influences, let's say, that have made me take a pause. So life has made me take pause and reflect on all of my past, reflect on how much energy I had, reflect on my relationships that I've had, really look closely at the cycles that have occurred with people and relationships, and why they have occurred. And it still comes down to the same exact fucking thing. And that thing is, people are uncomfortable being truthful. People are uncomfortable telling you exactly what went wrong. They lack the ability to confront each other. They lack the ability of feeling emotion, or empathy, or there's like this competition going on, or it's truly just transactional relations. And I'm just like, lonely and questioning and feeling abandoned, and walking through this experience as myself, seeing the competition, seeing the ego battles, seeing the betrayal, the lack of communication. I'm just puzzled. I'm just puzzled that I have had such lack of closure from so many people. Human design has been truly the only thing that has helped me get closure. It has been the one huge tool that has helped me throughout my life understand relationships that I have that for some reason have so much friction or volatile energy behind them. And it allows me to rest, let my body to rest, let my memory rest. Now, I'm not here to just complain about other people. I'm here to reflect, and I've gotten a heavy dose of reflection because of my upbringing, which we will learn throughout my communication. I understood the victim mindset that I had, which is taking this abandonment and holding it so hard and feeling like this lack of extreme trust. That I always will be cheated on, that I will always be betrayed, that I will always be abandoned. And seeing how that reflected onto my relationships, seeing that truly I had my own projections of others and how they would treat me. And being vulnerable was too much because I haven't had a community or family necessarily that made me feel safe, that made me feel welcome throughout my childhood and teenage years. I had this extreme, I wouldn't say codependency necessarily, but it was an emotional codependency, the need for connection with people. And when that connection was gone, it felt like a huge void. So growing through that, understanding that, being able to learn these tools has really helped me feel secure, have really made me feel safe. And realize that most people in this life are living a capitalist life. They are hustling, they're extremely busy, they can't get to the phone, or they're tired and they're doom scrolling because that's so easy to access in this universe now. I am here to point out the flaws. That is what I'm here for. I am here to look at what has been spoiled in order to create growth for the future. And I know that for sure. I want to evolve communication. I want to have secure, real connections with people, real conversations, because the more real you can get, the more you can grow. And I think that's so important to share, so vital to have these experiences and talk about them, because we are going through a lot of nationwide shifts and we will continue to go through them, especially until 2027 and onward. We are in this revolutionary realm, and to not document this would be a huge loss. So I am here to share my story and hope to gather more experiences and more perspective through this system, through sharing my life, through sharing my experiences, and the psychology of language, and being able to really be honest with the people around you. There's a huge amount of ghosting culture still around, and it's because one person did it, because, you know, whoever started it, it is okay to do in our society. It's okay to lead people on and then just leave them. And I think that the more you can just be real with people, the better relationships you'll have. You won't have to go into that coffee shop and feel awkward. You won't have to not look at somebody, you know, just because they're around. You won't have to, like, tiptoe around these situations. Like, you can just use your fucking language. It's there for you. It's the evolutionary time for this fucking shit. So I'm here to share this, and I'm super excited, obviously. Thank you for hearing this giant 20-minute rant, but this is the beginning of a big story, and I'm not gonna be your number one necessarily, but I am here for the heretic investigators, and I'm here for anyone that wants to understand the heretics and the investigators and how we work and how we run, and the shit that's happened, the shit that's happening to many people. Here we go.